Now, you might be thinking to yourself, wow, this gentleman looks rather submissive and or breedable. Well, you would be wrong, because I have a personal defense weapon. Hello everyone, today I want to talk to you about the Strike Industries MCS for the P320, which makes your P320 into a PDW. Yes, that was a lot of letters, but what we're talking about today is a modular chassis system from Strike Industries that allows you to make your P320 by Sig Sauer into a more personal defense weapon type of gun. This allows your fire control unit from Sig to become a PDW style weapon that can attach either a brace or a stock. Featured here I have the Strike Industries brace, but you can use any Picatinny stock or brace system from SB Tactical or any other company that you're more interested in. Whether or not you buy into the PDW style firearm for personal use or just range use is up to you. If you want a very long, very well thought out video discussing the merits of the PDW style firearms and how they could be more useful for more people in more situations than the AR-15, I highly recommend you go check out BRASSFACTS' channel. He has done a lot of videos on, I think, the Flux Raider, as well as some TP9s and other PDW style firearms, and he is also going to be getting one of these. So if you want some insight from him, I would highly recommend you go check out his channel because I think it's very much worth the subscribe. Hey everyone, just wanted to give you a quick disclaimer about my opinions and relationship with Strike Industries. Strike Industries, I have very conflicted feelings because some of their products are great, some of their products are trash, and some of their products are very interesting and unique and innovative. I initially saw the Strike modular chassis system when it was called the Rampage on Instagram, and I begged and pleaded and threatened to send feet pics to the social media manager to allow me the opportunity to buy a pre-production model. I wanted one. I wanted to buy it. I wanted to buy a prototype. Eventually, they offered to send me a influencer demonstration model that I could keep so that I could do a review and make content out of. But they were willing to send it to me because of how interested I was and because in the state of California, it's one of the only PDW type guns that we can get. So that's my bias. Choose to do with that information as you will. I also want to give a big thank you to the sponsor of today's video and a big sponsor and supporter of this channel and some of the ranges that I work with like Route 66 and to political organizations that I support like CRPA and FPC, and that is NorthTac. NorthTac is an awesome provider and manufacturer of red dot sights and magnifiers that I think are actually very, very awesome for the price. I've used a variety of their, I think, P11, P10, and P12, as well as their full-size 30mm that looks similar to the Aimpoint Pro. I've used a ton of their different optics. I have not had an issue yet with any of them with their red dot sights. I also really like their magnifier. For the price, the magnifier, I think, is very tough to beat. All of their products have shake-awake type technology. They have 50,000 hours of battery life, so you're never replacing the batteries. All in all, I think NorthTac is an excellent option for people that are looking for a budget-minded optic. Not everybody wants to spend $700 to put an Aimpoint T2 on their plinker gun, and that's where I think NorthTac fits in perfectly. All my future budget red dots are going to be NorthTac. If you use code May20, I believe it'll save you 20%. I'll have a link in the pinned comment down below. Very thankful to NorthTac for supporting me and supporting the organizations and causes that I believe in. Thank you. This allows you to drop in your fire control unit from Sig into this, which gives you a grip frame thing. Then you can attach a variety of different types of optics. This adapter plate here is for the Holosun or the RMR style. And then at the rear, it actually has a Picatinny rail section, which I have attached the Strike Industries dual folding brace, but it folds to both sides. Me personally, as a right-handed shooter, I would recommend folding it this way because this would allow you to still pull the trigger, whereas if, as a right-handed shooter, you fold it to the right side, getting your trigger finger in there is going to be very difficult. Just something I noticed. I attached a Modlite PLH 350. I can't remember what this is called. This is the Modlite pistol light that uses any of the Modlite heads. This was sent to me from the good people over at revivaldefense.com. I highly recommend you check them out. They are good people and they ship very fast. If you get anything from their website, it's going to be high quality. A lot of people are going to see many other users utilizing a forward mag attachment. Me being in California, I have to work around the assault weapon ban. The assault weapon ban in the state of California on a semi-auto pistol does not allow you to have a second hand grip, even if it's angled. Having a second hand grip, which it would be very hard to argue that that forward mag holder is not a second hand grip. In the future, there's going to be a wide variety of attachments that you could put like shrouds and rails over the top section. There's going to be adapters to allow you to attach a light forward of the grip. Currently, if you want to attach a light, you can only attach a light. If you want to attach the forward mag caddy, you can only attach the forward mag caddy. In the future, there's going to be various adapters, extensions, muzzle brake, compensator devices that attach to the frame so you don't have to have a threaded barrel, which would be very nice, especially for us in the state of California. I have the charging handle, which attaches at the rear of the slide plate. I have that attached on the left side. Something to keep note of, if you shoot with your hands like this charging handle can mess you up. So keep that right hand thumb down. But this allows you to grab it, because otherwise if you were trying to grab it here with a slide or with a frame mounted red dot, you would not really be able to do it and would only be able to rack from the front. This can be put on either side. I chose to just put it on the side that makes more sense as a right-handed shooter, which is the left side. You could do it on this side and do like an AK reach under or reach around, but I'm not a big fan of the reach around. Frame mounted red dot, which is superior to a slide mounted red dot, because when you are shooting this, this stays in place and the slide reciprocates, which allows you to be faster and more effective and have a more natural position. When I talked about the Recover tactical brace, one of my big complaints that I had was that I felt like I was having to like hunch down into the gun because I am 6'2". That was a bit of a problem. For me, with this setup here, I don't have that problem nearly as much. This is a PDW, it's a small gun. This is not going to be nearly as effective at most things compared to an AR-15 or an AR pistol. But this is still pretty dang effective. I was able to very easily hit shots at 75 yards quickly with this on the first day using it. And I shot about 500 rounds or so without having any problems, which I wasn't expecting to have any problems because this slide and this FCU have not given me any issues in a variety of other grips. So I kind of just assumed that it would perform boringly reliable, and this was boringly reliable. I'll try to include a photo of this one issue that I did notice at first, but let me describe to you what was happening. When I first got this, I found that if I apply a lot of pressure downward on the slide and then pull back, the internals here were starting to show little marks, which I will try to have a photo overlaid, and it just wore out just a little bit. I was worried that that could cause some issues with reliability, but I found that anytime that I rack it normally, it doesn't make contact there at all. And after I just forcibly pressed down real hard and racked that a bunch of times, it seemed to wear in and it never caused a problem. It's not causing excessive wear to the slide of the gun. It's not causing reliability issues. And now when I just slide it normally, it never makes contact at all. So I think for me, that was not a big deal. Now, when I first got this set up, the screws that hold this rear shelf that allows you to attach a optic to it, this here, there are two little screws on each side. There's actually a lot of screws on the entirety of this thing. These were not tightened down all the way, but it was very obvious, and I just used these sets, or the tools included, to just crank down on both sides, and I have not had it come loose since. This is a very neat setup. I think this allows you to be a lot more effective at distance, and for me, that's huge because this still fits in a backpack without taking up the entire backpack and without having to have a backpack so large that it screams, hey, I bet that guy's got a gun in it. For me, I think this was just a very neat concept. It's very cool. I think this is awesome. I'm very interested in the aesthetic of it. Some people say it looks ugly. Some people think PDWs are dumb. I think that this is very cool, interesting, and unique, and it is a lot cooler than what some people do with their P320s, like shoot themselves on accident. Some people might be wondering, what about if you have a safety, or I want one to have a safety? Well, there's little notches on the side of the FCU that allow you to just take a little Dremel to it, make that little cutout, and then your safety-equipped FCU would be workable with this. Believe it or not, this will work with any traditional holster that your P320 will work with. So this setup right here can be holstered. Would I recommend carrying this? Probably not. So I've seen a lot of people say that they carry the P320 and that it's a great concealed carry gun. I was hoping that some of you guys could help me out because it's just not really like working out for me, and I'm not entirely sure why. Like, I feel like this prints like way more than it's supposed to. I'm not entirely sure what's wrong, but maybe you guys could give me some tips. Oh, you can't tell that I'm carrying a gun? Get fucked, nerd. I've only shot about 500 rounds through this so far, which is not a lot. I'm gonna be shooting this a lot more in the future. If you want to see a further review, this is kind of just my first impressions, first thoughts of this. So far, perfectly reliable, very accurate, out to about 75 yards with 9mm, which, to be honest, is about as far as I would want to shoot someone with a 9mm. Obviously, getting shot with any gun, not ideal. That kind of sucks. But for me, I think this gives you a lot more effective capability at ranges that would be very, very difficult to be effective with a traditional handgun. And you can always just shoot this like this anyway. Bang, bang, bang. Or you can increase your capability by adding a pistol stabilizing blade. And now you can do all kinds of cool stuff. So for me, I think the Strike Industries MCS is very neat. I'm gonna be doing a lot more footage with this, a lot more shooting with this down the road. But so far, I just wanna talk about this, let you know what I think about it. It is expensive. I think the total system, including a brace, you're looking at like a $500 kind of setup, but it's very modular, very neat, and it's something that you would not be able to do in many states like the state of California with a similar setup. In California, this is really our only good option for a PDW style gun that does not need to be fixed mag and allows you to use your Freedom Week magazines. So for me, being able to have 17 rounds in this gun, being able to have this be a lot more capable at distance because of this folding brace, I think this is pretty neat. If you're interested in how to get a P320 in the state of California, go watch my California P320 video. If you guys liked this, if you have any questions, drop a comment down below. I'm gonna be answering a lot of questions about this because I'm sure you're gonna have them. Overall, what you choose to purchase, that's up to you. Don't just listen to me. This was just me rambling and talking about something that I thought was neat, which is kind of just the majority of this channel to begin with. You guys know the drill. Have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace.